Hello, everyone, and welcome to Apocalypse Keys for Cryptids and an Apocalypse. Welcome to a world that is similar to our own, a world where monsters exist but are forced to live in the shadows of the far more numerous and xenophobic humans. A world where ancient doors of power can connect to other planes and dimensions, where harbingers seem to unlock doom's doors. Sorry, where harbingers seek to unlock doom's door in an effort to start another apocalypse. Our players tonight are Omen Class Monsters, the only ones who are powerful enough to stop the apocalypse. But their power comes from the same darkness as the enemy, and they constantly feel the pull of what the darkness demands. They will rely on the emotional bonds they create with each other to forestall their ruin and save their world. A list of a word of caution to you, our dear viewer. This game does deal with dark emotional themes, and there is a list of content warnings in the description. Although in our version of events, the only thing invading Ukraine is a harbinger seeking more power, the country in our real world is under attack by real invaders. So if you'd like to support them financially, there are links in the description as well. Please make sure to take care of your own mental health. And with that, I would love to introduce to you our players. Let us start off with Natisha. And you are muted.
I think I did that last time. Oops. Hi, I'm Natisha, and I go by she, her pronouns, and I'll be playing as Naknitsa or Nitsa, who goes by she, they pronouns. Hatched from a moth cocoon over 50 years ago, they are raised in division with a strong desire for blood and cloth. They're ethereal with moon eyes that glow red when hungry, whimsical silver hair, and moth wings that double as a cloak. However, their body has begun to morph as they have been giving in to their hunger. Quick fun fact about me is I think apple pie is absolutely disgusting and I will not eat it. And that's a very common food that people love, but I think it's disgusting. I will vomit if I try to eat it. Anyways,
Oh my goodness.
and
That's
today's impulse for Nitsa is: did you surrender to the hunger within you at the worst possible moment? Get ready for a fun night full of hunger.
nice. Amazing. Okay. Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam, and I will be stepping into the very large, very sparkly shoes of Lada, who was once a goddess of love and is now traipsing around in these said heels on Earth, down here in the muck with the rest of us, making the best of it. She's 12 feet tall, immaculate, glorious, pink hair, glowing, ruby eyes with heart shaped pupils, the whole 9 yards. A fun fact about me is when I was little, I used to think that all of the mountains were just sleeping dinosaurs. And I I even picked out my favorite mountain, and I was like, when that mountain wakes up, that's gonna be my dinosaur, and I'm gonna build a house on it, and we're gonna ride around and be BFFs. Still waiting. Some of you are out here all like, I'm waiting for my letter from Hogwarts. Wrong, incorrect. Okay, no. We're waiting for the dinosaurs to wake up. All right, okay. Um, yeah, that's everything from me. I think that was oh, my impulse. Did you bless the week with the immeasurable glory of your presence? I'm already here, so done.
That's fantastic. Alrighty, Casey.
Hi, everyone. I'm Casey. I go by he, him, and I'll be bringing you Nick with a silent K at the start. He's beloved, burly, one-eyed. He's a time-manipulating woodsman with a bit of a Santa Claus vibe. He's slapped bishops throughout history. He's been sainted, things like that. He's the last of his Anunnaki race, aliens from what is now the asteroid belt. A fun fact about me is I'm a Cancer with Leo rising. And for tonight's impulse, Nick will be wrestling with the urge to share stories about his people and what he lost. So, let's get nostalgic.
Amazing. All right, Z.
Hi, I'm Z. I use she, they pronouns, and I'll be playing Goodwin/Genesis tonight. Goodwin was an Anunnaki obsessed with perfection, leading him to the dark arts, where he ended up summoning Genesis, a deadly mistake for him. Genesis is a lust demon that now navigates our world within Goodwin's body. And a quick fun fact about me is I am on a multiple year-long journey of trying to learn Japanese, so that when I travel there in 2026, that I can actually speak the language. And my impulse tonight is, did you give into the power of prophecy and strengthen it?
Amazing. Okay, and I'm Celtic the nephew. I will be your keeper tonight. You can call me Celtic, you can call me D. My pronouns are she, her. And a fun fact about me is I was a cook and baker for almost 20 years. And I have gotten a chance to cook for such wonderful people as like Jason Mraz and Jewel and the Indigo Girls. So that's my fun fact. Alrighty. So when we left off the last time, you all were in the middle of a fight. Nick had turned back time. If I could turn back time. So that you all could find Marcus in the moment of his arrival. Their arrival. Found them, accosted them because someone was feeling a little bit angry and violent. And yeah, so we were having a fight. We got some memories sucked out of brains. We've got all kinds of fun and exciting stuff. Shadows attacking followers, fallen goddesses attacking shadows. A great time was had by all. And also, in between sessions, we had a little bit of a level up. So, you, our beautiful viewers, might see some new powers rise up from our Omen Class Monsters. So, when we left off, I believe Marcus is probably not touching anyone anymore, but Lotta was reaching out to touch Goodwin to try and calm him down. Goodwin was feeling love like Genesis has never felt before. Nick was attempting to leave an opening for Naktnitsa. So I believe, Naktnitsa, if you would like to do something in this moment, I believe it is your turn. Unless anyone wants to ask any questions or mention anything that I might have forgotten.
Yes, I believe Nagnitsa was eating Marcus. Yes.
Oh.
And she ended up glowing. They ended up glowing pink because of Sam's spell.
Ah, that's right. A disastrous success of Unleash the Dark and the Gnawing Edge of Hunger was a miss. That's right. So now you are, you have a proboscis tongue.
Yes.
I love the evolution of Naktnitsa.
Nitsa's just a Pokemon.
Okay. So, all right. So Marcus is going to take. So you're eating. You're actually on top of Marcus right now, like physically eating them. Okay. Awesome. I don't know why I didn't remember that. So you get no repercussions. I am going to say that while you are feeding, you get these flashes of maybe memories, but they're not your own. You see a flash of an inside of an old library. It looks classic. But then as you look around, you see the hallways seem to go off forever. And then you see another flash of the same night sky that you saw in the Hill of Tara being like showing through the ceiling. And then you see another flash of a powerful, very tall woman pulling down what looks like this very dark black hole, kind of sucking it down. And you can feel the gravity and weight of that kind of pulling at you. And as you kind of flash out of it, you realize that whatever you might have seen, Marcus themselves is pulling you down and making you feel weighted, making all of you feel incredibly weighted as they manipulate the gravity in the area to weigh you all down. They're then going to break free and take advantage and bolt. Unless any of you would like to do something. If any of you think that you can stop this.
I'm going to go ahead and say Lada is busy keeping Goodwin / Genesis under control and protecting her worshippers, who are probably cowering behind her at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say Goodwin's probably too busy to be paying attention to that.
Nick, Nagnitsa, are you going to let him run? Let them run?
I suppose I could try using Unleash the Dark, but don't particularly feel like there's a lot I'm going to do here. I'm just seeing if I can roll. So Nick just makes it so the local area around Marcus as he's running is moving at, I don't know, 1/4 speed, 1/10 speed, something like it's like just a, as he's making great haste at a fraction of the speed.
Okay. As they are running away, Nagnitsa, you hear them kind of muttering, I'm going to save you. Don't worry. I'm going to save you. As they're running away, but obviously not moving very, very far. However, the deep gravity well is still on you.
I guess I will try to do Unleash the Dark again, and see if I can get a hold of them again. Where did it go?
Well, if you're just trying to get a hold of them, you can do that. You don't need to roll.
Okay.
Rolling Unleash the Dark is like you're going to do something more than just grab a hold of somebody.
Do they still have the case?
Oh, that's right. They had like a backpack. I think
So
Lada went to
you
grab
all
it.
interrupted before they even got the backpack.
That's right.
Ah. So they don't need. So we need the backpack because it's a library. We don't need Marcus, maybe.
We don't know what was in the backpack. We don't know why Marcus wanted it, but I feel like Marcus is technically the bigger draw here because he would know where the library is and like what it's up to and whatnot.
Okay. Then let's see if I can do something. Not sure what I can do. Hold on. Yeah, if we do, I'll do Unleash the Dark to see if I can get them down, and then also convince them to tell us where the library is. Is that how that works? Sorry.
So you're tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you if you need to roll.
I want to try to trap them and confuse them and try to get them to tell us where the library is. Like,
so the space
get what you want.
around them has slowed down so that they're going to be really easy to catch. But as soon as you enter that space, time will also slow down for you. But the two of you will be in the same time. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So how are you going to confuse them?
I will make my moths flutter around them and go in front of their face to block their sight.
Okay. And okay. So just as a reminder, you haven't done anything that requires you to roll yet. You are an Omen Class Monster. If you say your moths get in the front of somebody's face who is literally being slowed down in time, you can just do that.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a little off today.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm just trying to figure out like where you're gonna go from there.
Because I'm gonna, after I get the moths around them, I'm like, Marcus, please let us know where the library. How can we help you?
Okay. Okay. So are you grabbing onto them?
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. So you're like grabbing onto their back, trying to stop them, to like pull them back?
Yeah.
Or are you like leaping on them like you did before, trying to eat them?
No, trying to eat them this time. I got enough. I will just grab onto them, and my moths will be around them as well.
Okay. Awesome. Cool. That is super easy to do. You can just do that. You don't need to roll anything for that. Although that was a perfect hit. Congratulations. As you do that, you feel their body like go stiff, and they're like trying to shove you off, but it seems like a lot of their power is weakening. They're not strong physically. And they will I've got to save them. 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 And it's kind of like trying to keep like pulling you with them. Like they are one track mind. They're on a mission. They're not even really hearing you right now. As the rest of you notice this, Nick has slowed down time. You might think that there's not much to worry about between Natisha and Nick. Marcus seems well in hand. Eventually, the gravity starts to lift. Slowly but surely, you feel less and less heavy until it becomes normal again. You hear a variety of reactions from Lotta's followers. 6 young men. They look like they're like between 18 and 22, all light-skinned, a variety of European accents coming through. Dimitri and Anton are looking at each other like, what are you doing here? Speaking in rapid fire Ukrainian. In that moment, as things seem to be coming in to a normal stasis, where you could be in that part of the movie where you dust yourself off, you've caught the bad guy. You hear a howl, a deep, loud, reverberating howl of a wolf, followed shortly after by other howls, kind of a little higher and pitched, not so deep, not so loud, throughout the woods around you. So you are at the amusement park that was never opened. However, nature has taken back Pripyat, and there are trees everywhere. So you do all hear these wolves howling, and it sounds almost like they're circling you at a distance. And the clock does tick another beat.
So Lada's gonna try to find get Genesis or Goodwin's attention, and is kind of trying to lock eye contact. She's like, "Are you good? Are you okay? Can I let you go? Are you done freaking out?"
Yeah, and I believe Goodwin, after from last sessions, if I remember correctly, the magic we said it made him feel love like he'd never felt before. Like he has I think Lotta sees a tear come out of his eye, and he adjusts himself and kind of wipes his face, and he said his voice is a little shaky. He's like, "Yeah, I'm good. Thanks."
Lada just smiles at him, and she's like, "Good, because I think we have company." She motions to the howling. You could redirect some of that in that general direction. I and my worshippers would very much appreciate.
Oh, to make the wolves go away from us?
Oh yes, please, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, I think he makes little rabbit shadows that the wolves can chase throughout the forest to lead them away from us in our area.
Okay. You send your rabbit shadows out in all directions. You feel a few of them getting pounced on. And the wolves seem to run off.
Lada will turn to Marcus, who's being held down by Nitsa. Is that correct? Yeah. And she just kind of saunters over. She's like, Marcus, so nice to finally put a face to a name, if that's what you call a face these days. I mean, it's okay. It's not anything to write home. Regardless.
They are so cute. I don't know what you're talking about.
Lada can have preferences. Or she can be manipulating people by telling them that they're ugly. Come on.
Okay. All right. Fine.
But anyways, yeah, no, she kneels down next to Marcus, and I'm imagining that he's face down. Because Nitsa is on top of his back, kind of creepily whispering in his ear. How can I help you? And she's got these crazy long ruby nails, so she kind of grazes her nails through Marcus's hair and into his scalp before very gently really taking a handful of his hair and lifting his head to turn his face towards her, and is like, So, where is library? Start talking. You've worked for division. You should know how this goes.
I have to save them. I have to save them.
Lada like rolls her eyes. She's so like over this whole thrall situation. So I think she's actually going to call me master on him to try to override whatever his
Ooh.
enthrallment is.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and see if we get away with it. I will spend all of these tokens. Let's see. I guess it did not roll. Did it roll for you guys? Didn't roll for me.
I didn't hear it.
Me neither.
Nope, it
But
didn't.
I'm distracted because I'm looking for Marcus's token.
Okay, hold on. Spend and roll. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
I heard it.
Okay.
Yeah, it went that time.
It's a miss, y'all. But hold on, because I
Aw.
got bonds. Do I have bonds? I think I do. Let's see. Oh, goodness gracious.
Look, Marcus Finch is adorable, and I don't care what you have to say about it.
Okay, tell Lotta. Don't tell me. I'm gonna go ahead. Can I hold on? Does this new move of mine, we're family now, does that affect me?
No.
It does not affect me, so we're not gonna. But I can I spend multiple bonds? I believe I can.
Yeah. You totally
All
can.
right. So we're gonna go ahead and spend this one with Goodwin. Because I feel like that interaction that I just had with Goodwin fed while I was pushing love into Goodwin, Lotta absorbed some of that like more
Violence.
aggressive energy. Yeah, some of
Anger.
the violence, the anger, and that's
Hate.
kind of what she's using right now to try to like coax Marcus into speaking to her. And I think I would like to spend my bond with Tech.
Ooh. Does this trigger your move?
No, I don't believe it does. Let's double check though. Da, 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 da. No, I do know it doesn't trigger the
Okay.
move with them. No, but I got the bond from having that move with them. So we're gonna go ahead and spend that one as well.
Okay. How is Tech going to help you in this moment?
I'm gonna go ahead and say that again, in the same way Goodwin is helping Lotta through violence and aggression, Tech is technically where Lotta learned interrogation tactics from.
Okay. Amazing. All right. So you have spent your bonds.
I have indeed. That brings me to an 8.
That gives you to an 8. Awesome.
The wolves are back.
The wolves are back. Speaking of the wolves of hell. Okay, so you have claimed new worshippers. Choose 2. They will fulfill a single command exactly as you wish. They will grant you new powers temporarily, or they will create a place of worship and power in your name.
Yes. So
would you like to ask him to go to TikTok and do high
velocity edits of I don't know who's hot right now. Pedro Pascal. We're gonna stick with him because I like him.
He's always hot.
I finally got a chance to watch that video you posted. That was so cute.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and they will fulfill a single command exactly as you wish. Take us to the library. They will grant you new powers temporarily. Describe them. I want the power. I want it. I want immunity from the library's dumb knowledge sucking thing.
Oh,
Please and thank you.
that's an intelligent power to request. Okay.
Just me, because I feel like it would be unfair to ask for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's just you. You get to remember this. Um as you request this, as you demand this, they kind of stand up and look at you with like cartoon eyes with hearts in them. Um and yes, you'll help me save them. You will, right?
And she like runs her. She's like holding his face up still with one hand, and she uses the other to like run through his hair and caress his cheek. And she's like, "Oh yes, Marcus, I'm going to help you with every little thing you have ever needed."
I just want my Tempest back. And he turns and he walks away. And I assume you all follow.
Does Lotta feel the love that Marcus has for Tempest?
Yes. Yes. Yes, he does. You do. Because your followers got their phone back. Do you want to bring your followers with you?
Does my phone work yet?
That's a good question. Z. I'm pretty sure Goodwin put Lotta's phone in their back pocket.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think Goodwin would look at it, but if Lotta asked for it, he might give it to her.
Yeah, no, she'll like not even say anything. She'll just look you dead in the face and do like a grabby hand thing with the super long nails and the little bit of a pleading, pouting face.
Yeah, he's like confused for a second, like, what am I? And I think he like holds his hands on your hands. I forgot about that. I guess I do this too, apparently. But yeah, and then he like, oh, and then he like reaches in his back pocket and gives it to you.
Thank you, darling. And I guess I'm looking at the phone. Do I have service? Have I got 500 unread messages? What's
You there's service. It's like 1 or 2 bars, really, really thin. But you do feel that connection to tech again.
I think she'll shoot off like a quick message of like, thanks, babe, for like helping the bond thing. Heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, hot sweaty face emoji, peach emoji, star emoji.
Which translates to thanks, babe.
You got it.
You just get a wink emoji back. Anytime. So yeah, so Marcus will take you and starts just walking like a beeline, like crawling over fences, walking through bushes towards the great big metal building, the only thing that has lights, which is towards where Anton told you the people would be, the military would be, and reactor 4. So as you start to head in that direction, Anton will be like, Mila, Lada, are you sure we should be going? That's a bad direction.
So Lotta will turn to Anton and like lean down so that she's like face to face with him. And she like tilts her head. She smiles and Anton, are you telling me you don't want to go into reactor 4?
I mean, it's crazy.
You don't think I
But
can protect you, Anton?
you see a little bit of a blush. And you get that little bit of a feeling of like uh masculine energy of I'm the man, I'm supposed to protect you kind of thing. Um and that little bit of discomfort, but it's quickly washed away because he is a follower of you and he is madly in love with you and he will do whatever you ask. But you do get that feeling.
I think like Lada just wanted to see him. I just love to see you squirm, darling. And she'll like lean in and go, "You can go," and then give him like a really sultry kiss right on the lips to kind of not to like completely break the worship, but like to reinstill sense of self-preservation of like
Mhm.
you are free to go, you and your friends, and she'll like kiss each of them if whatever it takes to like
Okay.
get them.
I feel like this is like that Snow White scene
Yes,
where they
yes,
all
yes.
line up and then Anton comes back.
Yeah, no, okay, perfect. Yeah, if he comes back and he's like, she'll laugh, but give him another kiss, and then like give him a bit of a shove. Like, go on.
Mhm. Um, so they all go, and you can hear Anton and Dmitri kind of chattering to each other, heading back towards the buildings. The other four out of towners going with. And as they're leaving, Nick, you hear like a curse that you totally understand to mean, wait, what the fuck? We're 2 weeks behind? and that might give you a sliver of joy to know that Anton just figured out they're in a weird spot.
100% Nick is pleased with them being out of place and out of time.
I'm very curious of how that works with like, are their pastels still here, or did they take over their pastels in this timeline?
Guess we'll find out.
Let's see if fucking with time causes its own apocalypse.
Fuck with time harder. Got it. On it.
I'm not bothered. Y'all are out of time too, except your past selves are like in the other world right now, so it's less of a worry.
We'll show up like 2 seconds after we left for this mission, and so it makes up for how late we were for the last one.
That's funny. Okay. Moving on. All right, you're all just following Marcus as they walk basically in a straight line. Unless they can't. And they will take you towards Chernobyl proper and reactor 4. As you get closer, you start to see the lights. The sun is starting to rise. There's no snow on the ground because you went back to November, but everything, all the leaves are, dead and dying on the trees. So the branches of the deciduous trees are bare and scraggly looking, and you know that you're heading towards where the military and the scientists and everything are. Do you want to do anything about that?
Do I maintain the powers that I took from my thrall, Anton and them? Because I remember being all like, I want like a very sneaky kind of power for the whole group where we essentially have like pass without a trace kind of thing. Or like enough
Um,
knowledge of the area to know how to sneak around.
I'll say that Anton would have told you the best that he could how to get there. Because I kind of translated that into Anton's guidance would give you the
Okay,
stuff.
gotcha. No, okay. So in that case, yeah, I guess we're trying to get around as best as possible using the information Anton gave us.
Okay. So you're trying to avoid the military and the scientists and all that.
I think is best for now, yeah.
What time is it? Because we went back in time. It's not nighttime anymore, is it? Is it daytime?
Oh, that's a great question. I just said sunrise, so.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I missed that. Could or rather, I would like to use my magic, my powers, to kind of like help shroud us in the shadows and help us kind of move
Sure.
a little bit easier.
Awesome. Yeah, between the two of you, then you can definitely get through to the shadows. It is going to be a little bit harder when you actually go to the entrance of reactor 4, unless you could probably attempt to go around behind and maybe break in another way. But if you want to go through the front door, that's going to be where your hardest part is going to be, because there's not a lot of places to hide in that. It's like a big open area. There's a big statue memorializing the liquidators and the first responders.
And Marcus he's with us? Are they with us?
They're with you, but they're literally going beeline. You're
Okay.
gonna have to, whenever you want to be like, oh, that's not the best way to go, you're gonna have to direct them, and they're gonna try to get back to a beeline as fast as possible. So it's up to
We
you.
just
What do y'all
have
want to do?
put toddler leash on Marcus. So we can keep them from going crazy or getting shot by military.
They are following a command.
Oh.
They were commanded to take Lada to the parasitic library. They are doing that. It's not that they're stupid, although they may or may not be in their right sound of mind.
Yeah. Well, I think not going through the front or going through the front door is not the answer. That seems.
I mean, y'all are Omen Class Monsters. You can do whatever you want, but there are consequences. So I just want you to decide.
If we're sneaking, I think we should continue to sneak personally.
Do, 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 do.
Okay, so just to clarify, what we're doing, we are following Marcus, and he is leading us directly into the heart of scientists, military, and whatnot. That is what is happening, and we're trying
That
to
is what is
decide.
happening.
All right, Lada's very much like, you know what, it was bound to happen at some point. Like, what? I say we just follow path of least resistance. Or most resistance. I don't know. With Nick here, doesn't feel like that much resistance, to be honest.
I mean, Nick could go
True.
fuck with time again and get you there at night. Nothing could possibly go wrong with that.
Could Nick like super speed all of us so that we're so fast that we're not like detectable?
He can certainly try.
I could try. Is Lotta asking Nick to do that, or just thinking about how Nick's not helping?
You know what? I'm gonna reveal my heart to Nick. Let's see. How would we play this out? Hey, Nick. I know you're not 100% on mission mind. I get it. I understand you miss your wife. Right? Is that what this is about? And last person who reminded you of wife is no longer that person. and she'll like put her hand on his chest and be like, "What was your wife like?"
She was really good with her hands. Master crafter of our people. Uh, Truly, she put the best minds of ours to shame with her bright illumination. Her name was Frigga. Our people, the husbands took the wife's name, so Wotan's my maiden name. I was Mr. Claus.
Mr. Claus, I like that. It's a very pretty name. And she'll kind of look around and be like, "What would Frigga have thought of this place, do you think?"
Uh, Probably that it's like those sandcastles you see on the beach. It looks very good, but it's not built to last.
No, I don't believe anything built to last. Not even anything you built. Right?
Well, there might be an exception or two.
Oh. And I wonder what would best way to find such exception be? To keep moping around in big dumb reactor that is already ruined to the ground? Or perhaps to find weird magic library that keeps moving around? Has lots of strange information inside. Could be useful to a race that has one person left.
I feel like Nick is going to react with some doubt. He's going to pout as he looks Lotta in the eyes, like he's trying to process, trying to wonder what this might do for him.
Look, even if it's not useful for you, could be useful for lots of people. And I know you are not biggest fan of humanity, but as I understand, you made humanity. Yes, that was whole point. They are like children you made by accident. Condom broke, now they're here, and you have to deal with it. Right?
Well, oversimplified, but sure.
And technically, humanity made me. So, I am like grandchild of yours.
Oh, grandchild of mine.
And so, Grandpa, I would really like it if we could get to library without notifying everyone within 2 mile radius. And I was just wondering what you could do about that. Perhaps, if we were super fast to the point of not being able to be detected by human eyes or technology would be helpful. Please.
Well, I think you might have to roll to find out how successful you are there.
You have a moment of closeness, but also a weakness with a disastrous success. Ask each other, how do I scare you in this moment? And after you both answer, you choose one. You either tell them how fearful you have become of them on a scale from 0 to 4, not a lot of wiggle room in that. And that becomes the number of darkness tokens that they now have. Or you can gain a bond with what the darkness demands of you.
Um, Grandpa, the fact that you created all of humanity, and technically I only exist because of them means I really only exist because of you. And you seem not good with that. Not good with the state of things. And I have to wonder what a man without his wife to ground him will decide when the fate of the world hangs in the balance.
I'm gonna say that like furrowed, pouty situation Nick had going on gets a lot more severe, where like his bushy eyebrows actually manage to shade the one eye that's not leaking light. He's still in his bloodstained suit, and he's like looking at Lotta, processing that she was made by mortals, and he probably has like a fourth level of fear as he realizes that mortals are not the gift that keeps giving, but the mistake that keeps mistaking. And just things like Lotta being made rampantly might be even worse than that which ended his people.
You're so muted.
I don't think Nick even understands about tech yet.
He's gonna.
If you're scared now, out of 4. This is juicy.
Does that mean I give Lotta 4 tokens?
I went with the bond, if that's okay. Right? I can pick either, or do I have to have both?
So you each choose. So if he's saying you're scary, you get 4 darkness tokens. If you say
Oh, okay.
you get a bond, then you get a bond with what the darkness demands.
Okay. I would prefer to have a bond, so I'm a little confused. Is he choosing whether or not I get the bond or the tokens, and then I choose if he gets the bond or the tokens, or do we choose for ourselves? That's what I'm...
So it says after you both answer, you each choose one. And one is you tell the other person how scary they are, and that they get that many darkness tokens. And the other option is I choose to get a bond with what the darkness demands.
Okay. I would prefer to have the bond.
Yes, you are picking the bond for yourself, and
Okay.
I am picking to give you
want-
4 darkness tokens.
Okay, that's what didn't make sense to me, is I'm winning everything. I'm getting everything. As the wife, yes, it makes sense. I get everything. But as the player, I'm like, that doesn't seem fair.
That does bring up a lovely little point that I'd like to check in with Goodwin, because you were torn between last time. You had 10 darkness tokens last time, which means even as much as Lada has tried to calm you down, even though that love did hit you, you're still torn between. You're still filled with darkness and rage and hate. Which you can choose to unleash yourself by reading the move. Or you can just wait. It will automatically trigger the next time you try to roll a move.
So when you say take the move, like the torn between move is what I could do on my own. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking that like during all this, like go like a lot of dealing with Marcus and us getting here, I think Goodwin has gone to this like the other part of torn between, from the rage to the like contemplating and like I think he also has despair condition. So dealing with like is like, do I have no control over my emotions? Like what is going on, and like going through that. But yeah, I think he's gonna try and deal with these emotions on his own.
That's never a bad thing. That always works perfectly.
Yeah. Bottling everything up is exactly what you should do in these situations. Let me see. So is there a place to roll? Or do I roll things, or do I just take torn between?
You are torn between. There is no taking. You just are.
Okay.
So, you are torn between your monstrous nature and your human heart. Or if you are tempted by what the darkness demands of you, you make a choice. You either let your monstrous nature show, which is what you did the first time.
Yeah, it felt right in the moment.
Yes. Or you can describe how you diminish your power and conform to the pressures of humanity and lose all your darkness tokens. Or, and this we could say is part of what Lada did. If you spend a bond with someone, describe how they directly or inadvertently help you regain control. I don't know if you have any bonds with Lada, or you can also spend a bond with Nick as they're having this conversation and you recognize how in control Nick seems. Or whatever.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to do this right now. I'm just reminding you that it exists and that
Cool. I actually have a good idea, I think, on how I could spend a bond with Lada. And maybe it's actually before like timeline before she talked to Nick, kind of on the way there. I feel like he's very much like feeling adrift, and not knowing, like very insecure, and in an attempt to basically ground himself, I think he just grabs Lada's hand and doesn't say anything or look at her, but he just like kind of takes her hand and hopes that she doesn't let go.
So are we just holding hands as we're walking through this place? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, no, she'll like, as when you take her hand, she doesn't like make a big deal out of it, like to embarrass you or anything. She like she'll just lace her fingers with yours. It won't even like acknowledge it beyond that, and then like give your hand a little squeeze.
Yeah, I think he squeezes it back.
Okay.
Now we're cooking with gas, you guys.
Right? I'm shipping it. It has nothing to do with what your final destinies and ultimate moves are. Nothing at all. It's really just my love for love.
Oh shoot, that still didn't do anything with my target tokens. I don't know how to play this game, guys.
That is the way to play.
That is exactly the way to play this game.
That's it.
I'm literally choosing every option but the one that will help me.
I don't know about you, but that's like 100% how I want you to play this game. Like, what do you mean correct? No.
Alrighty, so yes, you are still torn between. That's awesome. You do regain control of yourself, so you are still in control of that rage. But I don't know. It's kind of like when you calm yourself down from being angry, but you haven't actually worked through your trauma. So the next time something happens, you rage again. Just me? No.
We know, we get it, we feel you.
It's like someone just put the last straw back temporarily, but it could just be blown off at any moment.
There you go. All right, so as you are heading towards the heart of Chernobyl, holding hands, having these deep conversations, several of our monsters being torn between, one of our players getting a blacked out screen, we're actually going to take our break right now.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So let's be me. Say hi to Kitty. So let's take 15 minutes on the clock. Grab your bios, feed your pets, and I'll see you all back in a little bit.
Bye.
Bye.
And we're back. Hello, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed your break as much as we did. Now, when we left our monsters, sorry, I'm distracted by the dog in my background. They were headed towards Chernobyl proper, where Reactor 4 is, and all the scientists and military and the one hotel is. And Lada was trying to convince Nick to do some fancy, claws magic, I guess? Lean into your wife there, buddy.
I suppose the last of an ancient race of aliens with all this magical power to dilate time and stuff. You can, enact a specialty clause for other people and other creatures. Powering through darkness to make it so the speed of light doesn't quite work with them properly. We can move around in ways that are not normally without the atmosphere immediately combusting on you. So
Alrighty.
let's see if I can do something freaky.
Perfect. Which is actually really quite nice, because while Marcus is leading you, and they seem to be leading you like directly towards Reactor 4. Just as you are outside the area proper, as you are about to walk into the light, they stop for a moment. What? Where? Where are they? And they turn and make a beeline to a building that looks newer than the rest, the most one of the more well kept ones. And those of you with dealings with humanity and bureaucracy would recognize that this is probably like the heart and center of this area and the people who work here. So with your perfect hit, would you like to describe exactly what happens?
I suppose we don't necessarily like move or vibrate at a frequency where we can like phase through matter like the Flash does or whatever, but like Light is just not interacting with us, where it's like we're here or there as needed. We're displaced from where the light would be, like you're moving so fast raindrops don't hit you kind of thing. So, as Marcus navigates these things, we're perhaps skipping around a little bit, lightly fast forwarding through time. So Marcus is moving in one fluid motion from our perspective, but like doors are opening as people are like going about daily business or things that have to happen occur, like a convenient montage of skipping all the waiting. And just occasionally there's a flicker, like there's some shadows on the wall, but I don't think much else is seen.
Okay. As you are doing this, you can just keep you just keep hearing Marcus, because you kind of need to like follow Marcus specifically, and you're close enough that you can hear how they just really want to save them. They want to save Tempest. They want to save the others. And you can feel the emotion that he is feeling, the fear and the love and the anxiety. And you recognize those feelings. And you'll get flashes of images of Tempest and a young man. And then that young man showing great power. You'll see flashes of a fight. You'll see flashes of them making up. I can't look at Sam. And you'll get flashes of an ending, not just of a person or a place, but it seems to be like an ending of all things. But through the through line of it all is this deep love and affection that Marcus has for someone named Tempest, and that deep desire to save them from certain travesty. Something worse than death. And you can take a bond with Marcus if you'd like.
I think Nick will also be experiencing extreme grief with the, fresh emotional reminder of Lotta's queries and Marcus's relationship, and Nick, missing his wife. Just getting more mopey in the background here as Grandpa helps.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh. So as you are all headed through, Marcus guides you through the halls. This time, it's as you get closer, he seems a little more frantic. And then finally, he reaches out, twists the handle, and opens a door. And it looks like it's a door to a closet. However, when that door opens up, you see this large, grand library. It seems to be every library ever created all at the same time. It looks like something from the movies, like the old movies from the 40s and the 50s with these great big grand bookshelves and staircases. And Marcus just turns around and says, "Well, will you help me save them now?"
So Lotta will step up and like cup his cheek and just ever so gently like put her nails into his skin. Not like she's trying to hurt him or threaten him, but, resting the points of her ruby nails against his skin. And she's like, "Oh, darling, we are going to save everybody. Don't you worry."
As you do that, as you touch, you feel some of your memories getting pulled away.
But I have immunity to that.
You do. And so as you feel them being like pulled, you also feel that blockage. Maybe you would have preferred losing that particular memory, but you don't.
Yeah, not so fast. She, mentally, it's like, that's mine, thanks.
Marcus doesn't even seem to know what is happening.
Yeah, so
the
Lada.
eyes-
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, you see that the heart shape to the eyes is starting to fade and return to normal.
So yeah, Lada will kind of take advantage of her fleeting influence over Marcus and be like, "Just show us the way to your friends. They're in here, right?"
This is where I last saw them.
Oh, so you don't know where they are in here? And Lada kind of pokes her head in and is like, "This place is fucking huge." Any idea on where they could be in here?
I think this is where they all died. I think they're
They
gone.
what now?
A little hard to help them if they're dead, dude.
I don't know. It all happened so fast.
What happened?
Everything. It started to contract and breathe and explode, but then it didn't explode, and then it came back, and then the sky tore open, but it wasn't the sky. And then they were gone. And then they were here. And then I was gone.
Sounds like a Saturday night to me.
And he just turns and he runs into the room,
Into the library?
into the library.
Lada's like, "Hey, wait," and without really thinking, starts to step in. Is Goodwin gonna stop her? Are we still holding hands?
I think Goodwin doesn't know what's going to happen, so he goes with Lada.
Awesome.
Fair enough.
And Nitsa will be like, "No, food number 1, food number 3, come back. I'm hungry."
I would like to say that in this action shot of everyone getting into the library one after the other, it's kind of like one of those golden ratio paintings where everything has this nice angle, the color coordination and all that. And I'm going to try to use the move Ashes to Ashes, where my ancient knowledge shines brightly in the dark. And I'm going to say each of the PCs, they get a darkness token as I recognize signs and portents hanging over their heads of stories and patterns repeating themselves through history. And this is crossing the threshold into something disastrously new, disastrously old.
You plying us with darkness tokens?
But also the keeper gets to describe an aspect of my people's tragedy and how it's going to be repeated in spite of or because of my actions.
Oh. So, you each go ahead and add your darkness tokens to each of you.
Just one, yeah.
Just one.
I am now torn between.
Nice. I think Nick is the only one who isn't, to be honest. This feels like a birthday present, and it's not even my birthday, so thank you very, very much. Yes, as you each head in, feeling a shift. From the outside, you could kind of feel like this place was different. But as you head in, the door kind of shuts behind you. And you all feel this deep pressure, like this air is being sucked out of this space. Your Omen Class Monsters, a lack of air is not going to hurt you. But you can feel that pressure, like almost like a vacuum, bringing you towards the center, for lack of a better phrase. Each one of you is feeling the darkness breathing down your neck. You each feel a little bit closer to giving in to that desire. Except for Nick. Nick, as you walk forward, you see in your mind's eye a flash of your homeworld. You see a flash of something out in space, traveling, tearing apart. You see a flash of a torn sky and an alien set of stars. And you see it flash again, this time in a deep underground cavern, military facility, something. You see a flash again, and you're in the other world again with that same torn sky above you. And then you see a flash again, and it is in the ceiling of this very library. And you're sucked through it. You can feel your soul being sucked through this tear into this foreign space. And you find yourself at the edges, at the beginning of it all, the beginning of the universe, the edges of space. And you see the same creatures which tore apart your homeworld are circling. They seem to be just living their life until one of them notices you and starts to head your way. Then a flash, and you're back in the library again. You look up, the ceiling seems fine. You still feel that vacuum pull. And you think for a moment on what this all could mean. And you think on the destruction of your people. And as you reach out for that memory, you realize it is gone. As you all head into this library, what would you like to do?
Lada's gonna take a look around and kind of be all like, I do not like this place. Love is like air, they say. No air, no love. I don't like it. I'm not interested in this. Don't like what I see, what I feel. Oh, I check my phone. Do I have service in here?
You do not.
Fuck. She's like, you know what? What? Yeah. And just like throws it over her shoulder. Like, I can't with this right now. And then like promptly like she like stands there, like crosses her arms, like pouting, like really angry and like muttering under her breath in some weird forgotten language. And then like there's like silence as she like thinks about something, and then like with a grumble goes and picks up the phone and puts it in her pocket.
I would like to gently remind you all that this is a mystery game, and in order to get clues to the mystery, you do need to grasp keys.
I was aiming for.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go first. I was just gonna say I was trying to get a ruin point, so that's why I was not doing it.
Awesome.
I will have Nitsa grasp a key because they're hungry. I don't know how that makes sense, but they're like, maybe the key will be covered in blood again.
You know what? That makes sense to me.
Or maybe it'll be a rock again.
Yeah.
I desperately want this rock.
Instead of a nose for crime, it's a taste for clues.
And that will use
Blue's Clues?
I'll use 2 darkness tokens since I am torn between. Oh, oops, that went up, not down. Wait, I don't need to touch that. Okay, sorry. There we go.
What are you doing, Nitsa? Oh, perfect hit.
Excellent.
Very cool. I thought you had 7 darkness tokens a little while ago.
Accidentally put it up 2 instead of down 2, and then I was like, I don't need to touch the darkness tokens to use spin it on a roll.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. It's like, yeah, you don't need to touch those. All right. So do you have 5? Is that?
Yeah, I had 5, and now I have 3 since I used 2.
Oh, I thought you had 7 and you spent 2.
No, I had 5,
mind.
and then I was messing around in the
Oh,
wrong
okay.
spot.
I
Yeah.
just looked at the sheet at the wrong time. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So perfect hit. I'm looking at the wrong thing. You get a key. I think you just get a key. I think that's it. Yeah. All right. So as you are looking through this library, you see a trail of ink. And what drew you to it is it kind of reminded you of a blood trail. And as you go down and you sniff it and you taste it, it's strange. It tastes like blood, but also tastes like ink. Like this is the blood of a creature who might bleed something similar to ink. And there is a trail leading off.
Yeah, I'll follow the trail.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
We've lost track of Marcus. Or
I don't think any of you said you were even trying to keep track of Marcus.
He didn't come in, did he? Oh yeah, he did. He did. Because Lotta followed him in, so I think she was trying to keep track of him. That was the whole point, that she kind of just stepped in without thinking, was to try to keep eyes on him.
Okay, well, he ran into the center of the library, and you all...
Is that the direction of the blood that Nitsa's now following?
Give or take.
Because I think Lotta would have stayed on Marcus and not really noticed if Nitsa went a different way.
mm-hmm.
Nagnitsa, would you have wandered off from where Marcus was going?
Yes, in search of food.
I think this is the perfect time for Nick to have been telling Nagnitsa about like this house that his wife built that she's got to see. It's still standing after all this time. It's way at the North Pole. It's really cool. It's got some stuff there you might like to eat. And Nick just goes off with Nagnitsa, not even. Just old man rambling.
So
I
that
love
gives
this.
Lada and Goodwin some time alone.
with Marcus, presumably.
And Marcus is ahead of you, running, almost like he's got a purpose. Whereas you would stop to throw your phone around, and there's seemed to be less urgency on y'all's side. So,
Okay.
but I will say that he's headed towards the center, and you can hear something. The general direction he's going in. You also know he's going to where, like, you feel this pull, this physical vacuum pull too. Anyway, Goodwin, how are you doing?
Feeling pretty confused and conflicted.
Please feel free to take more darkness tokens.
Yeah.
I don't know if that gives you darkness or not. I'm just
Well, I don't know if he's necessarily done anything. Actually, well, I guess him holding Lotta's hand is kind of asking someone to love him.
Mommy, sorry. Mommy,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, Goodwin is let me look at my stuff. With him being very, very not unstable, but a lot of conditions going on in his brain, raging, lovelorn, despairing. We're burning through the books.
So in other words, I should give you another condition? This is what I'm hearing. Did everybody else hear that too?
If I do that, I'll die!
No,
think.
you won't.
Hyperliteracy.
Just reach your breaking point.
Okay. It does kind of make sense that with his last condition is obsessed, but
Before you do that, can I try to power through darkness to catch us up to Marcus?
Sure.
Excellent. I will be torn between after this roll.
Okay. I thought you were torn between before this roll, but or are you just saying
mean,
it will trigger it?
It will trigger. It will trigger my torn between.
Okay.
But I'm also hoping if I get a perfect success, I can gain a bond with someone,
Mm-hmm.
aka Goodwin. But let's see. Let's see what happens.
15.
Merry Christmas.
Oh, I love you so much. Okay. So by the way, you don't die, but it's not good if you
yeah.
reach your breaking point. You should attempt to reveal your heart or something.
Yeah.
However, you're also running through a parasitic library right now. Like, you're on a mission. So feel free to step up and either act with great violence or, humanize yourself.
Okay. Wait,
Okay. Sorry?
sorry. I thought you were telling me to take a move, but then I was like, wait, we haven't dealt with Sam's role
No,
yet.
sorry. I'm gonna move to Sam. This was more of a coaching as a player, from a keeper to a player. Like, this is where you're at, and you have control. You have the reins, so you can decide what to do. Lotta, dear, you are on the edge of disaster. You can either mark a condition to exert better control of your powers, or you can let the keeper tell you how the situation is not under your control.
I'm going to take a condition.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and do raging because Lotta's pissed. She's got no connection to tech. And that seems to keep happening on and off the more that they deal with this stupid library. It keeps trying to take her memories, which, as a goddess of love, those are kind of, that's one of her big things, is like remembering all of the people she's loved and all of the love that she's received, especially as one who's fallen, and the only real memory she has of what she has left of her divinity is memory. So she is mad at this library. She is not having it. So if that makes sense to you and you feel that that works, I'm going to go ahead and mark raging.
Okay.
This does leave me torn between. So when you're torn between your monstrous nature and your human heart, or when you're tempted by what the darkness demands of you, make a choice. I was going to go ahead and let your monstrous nature show and describe the damage your outburst causes and marking 1 rune. So,
It's like my birthday and Christmas all wrapped into one.
so we're going to go ahead and Lada for the most part has been trying to keep herself into like this human form. Like she's only, roughly 6.5 7 feet tall most of the time, but as they're trying to keep up to Marcus, and like Lotta is not just being fed by her own rage and like this indignation of like, how dare this thing try and take all that's left of what I have and my divinity. Like, how dare you try to make me forget that I am divine, I am immaculate, I am perfect, and how dare you try to make me think otherwise or forget that. So she's grown, she's this 12-foot tall, she's got this long pink hair that's like a veil, and as they're like moving through, these roses are just falling out of her hair, streaming behind her. Her long nails, fingernails, just, very well taken care of. They're now talons of ruby and marble. 12 feet tall, eyes aglow, and teeth, ruby fangs, not fangs, because that implies that there's only, the two. I'm talking like a shark mouth full of like ruby teeth. And she is like leaping and bounding and dragging Goodwin along. Actually, no, you know what? How tall, how big is Goodwin? Like, give me a vibe here of how big Goodwin is.
I actually think that Goodwin's a little bit of a short king.
No, perfect. That's all I need to know. I mean,
No,
you
I
can
also
tell me
was going to
more.
say, like he has his taekwondo bunny hopping stuff he can do to try and help, or not help, but keep up with.
So, yeah,
the leg jumpies.
perfect. I think like Lotta notices that he Lotta notices that he's doing that, and will actually like pick him up and like cradle him like a bunny in her like against her bosom. Move. Thank you. So she's like leaping and bounding and chasing down Marcus, and I think she's actually got like this very primal, like sniffing out Marcus's love for Tempest. Like that is
Ooh.
how she is hunting this person down. And as she's going, she's leaving behind this trail of roses that rot and wilt as soon as she's left them behind, but there is still a trail. And in doing so, she's like knocking a bunch of shit over because she is not being careful about this place. Like, she does not care about knocking over books, shredding things with claws and talons as she's like racing to try to keep up with Marcus. I think she is being super careful about how she handles Goodwin. Like, maybe she's holding him a little tightly, but like it's not like he can suffocate. So
I like to think that
Tighter.
without even thinking, her claws are like digging into his skin.
oh yeah, definitely. Like the claws are digging in. Like, I'm not letting you go. 100%. Like, you get the feeling it's not that she's trying to hurt Goodwin. It's that I refuse to drop you. I refuse to let you go.
He's into
You-
it.
Yeah, you are staying by my side.
Okay, amazing. Before we find Marcus, Goodwin,
Mhm.
you are now in this moment, still in this state of being like torn between. You have a lot of darkness tokens. Are you going to vibe with this rage and act out and become more monstrous? Are you going to allow this creature of love to show you love in a way, this protective love, and kind of calm you down? Are you going to lean into your humanity in this moment?
I'm thinking that he is gonna leaning into like the humanity of it, and I think that like seeing Lotta like rage out, he finds that incredibly sexy. Being part like a rage demon, rage less demon. He's definitely like seeing a different side of Lotta that is sparking that human love that kind of swirls around him and in his confusion. Oh, I had a thing that I wanted to do. Now I gotta go find it because I scrolled to look at other things. Oh, I think it was reveal your heart. While they're like kind of catching up to Marcus and bounding over these things, and Lotta picks him up. I think he says quietly, but still loud enough for Lotta to hear. Sorry about your followers.
So Lotta will look down at him as she's like leaping and bounding and still keeping an eye on like where Marcus ought to be, but like I said, she's kind of sniffing him out or sensing Marcus through like love, so she doesn't really need to look where she's going, but she'll look down at Goodwin and she'll give him that radiant grin, and she's like, you could make it up to me.
He very much like turns like he was very much that despairing, like she's not gonna like accept my apology in this moment. This isn't the right time. And then as soon as you say, yeah, make it up, he like he's like, yeah, I could do that. I could do it. Just let me know how I can make it up. Okay, we can catch Marcus really quick. Let's take care of this, and then I can make it up to you.
Meanwhile, there's like destruction behind them, but romantic music in front of them. Time slows.
I would kneel if I could right now, Lotta.
Does he say that?
Yeah.
She's all like, oh, sweetheart. I love it when you say that. Say it again.
I would kneel right down now if I could.
Ooh. She'll like give you like a really like a sultry like she's petting a bunny, but you're
but you're not a bunny.
Turns into a cartoon bunny for 2 seconds, like in the animes.
Okay.
Are you rolling for reveal your heart?
Yeah, I think I need to do that. So I will put some tokens behind that. Might as well get rid of some darkness tokens.
Burn them.
Nice. Perfect.
You have some amazing luck. I don't know that you've failed or even had a disastrous success yet.
I think I've had one disastrous success or one failure, but not to like toot my own horn, but I am incredibly lucky when it comes to dice rolling.
Okay, so on an 8 to 10, your heart reaches theirs. Choose one. If they are a PC, they get to choose one, and they choose to deepen the connection further. They choose one too.
Oh, cool.
It certainly sounded to me like Lotta was trying to deepen that connection.
Oh, I'm gonna deepen it, all right.
There'll be a lot of deep connection later.
So you both get to choose one.
I want to gain a. No. They gave me hope. Oh no, wait! I don't want to lose Rune. I thought that would give me Rune.
Oh.
Sorry, wrong, incorrect. I'm gonna go ahead and take the bond. I think.
I
Yes.
think that Lotta soothed Goodwin's heart with this and clear condition. I think I'm going to clear despairing. Feeling a little less hopeless. Still lovelorn, though, for sure.
Look at us.
Alrighty. I'm just trying to see something here. Oh, yes. One way for you to get more ruin, my dear Lada, is you're my beloved nemesis.
Oh, I am getting there. I have
Okay, I'm just
plans.
saying. Promises, promises. Okay, so as you race through, you feel that suction pulling on you harder, and it's not Goodwin. As you reach this area, you kind of almost feel like the wind whipping past you. And you see Marcus standing there, staring kind of forlornly up at the ceiling. And all you see on the ceiling is like a black hole. You see like things are trying to be sucked into it. But you also feel the presence of a creature which is attempting to protect itself and trying to block this pressure as much as possible. You feel like a tightening and a contracting as if it's trying to squeeze that hole shut. And now we're going to move on to Nick and Naknitsa. As you are traveling through, you come across a middle-aged man. He looks like he's in an old suit, light dark skin, like light black skin, light brown skin, wearing glasses, perfectly trimmed hair, has a big book. Just seems to be reading it. And as you get closer, he flickers, and then he's this light-skinned woman with her hair, brown hair, just tied back into a bun, really, really tight bun, and also like wearing glasses, although they've changed. Bright red lipstick, and a dress suit, maybe out of the 60s, and she's also holding a book. And she turns the page. And as you get closer, she looks up at you and goes, "Oh, hello. What are you doing here?" And then changes again. And now he looks like a man of Middle Eastern descent with off-white cotton linen outfit, holding a book, wearing glasses.
Well, I suppose Nick will be all like, "It's very rude to interrupt someone in the middle of a story." And then he'll stop,
right.
sigh.
Carry on then. And they'll just look down at the book, turn the page, and they flicker again. And it's just it looks like a librarian from a different time in a different space, in a different nationality.
There'll be a pause there as Nick is like watching this happen, and he looks to Naknitsa and he's all like, "Do you think they're really here? Or do you think this is just going to be a problem?"
Well, we could find out if I take a bite.
I like this.
So Nitsa will go up and be like, pull on their clothing and be like, "I'm gonna bite you now," and then go and bite their arm.
Yeah, as they do that, as you say that, they turn the page and look at you, and you see them change again. And they say, No, unhand me. No, I do not consent to this. Do you bite them anyway?
Yeah.
As you bite into them, you feel like that inky blood texture again. And they seem to like flicker through a few more images. And they get very upset and like kind of shake you off. And you feel as they move away, the floor underneath your feet kind of wraps around your feet for a moment so that this librarian can take a step back. And they kind of shake their arm and put their hand over it. And next time they move their hand, it's completely healed up and fixed. And that was incredibly rude.
I'm incredibly hungry, and I was following this trail of blood. It seems to have the same blood as you, ink blood.
Ink blood, I don't even understand that. I'm the librarian here. I can direct you and guide you, but I'm not to be eaten.
Nick asks this librarian when was the last time they were harmed in any such manner like that.
Oh. Well, to be quite frank, I can't remember, but it's quite unusual, I'm sure. Only the rudest of people would harm another person in such a way.
I'm not quite
Flash.
a person.
Well, you are a living being, I am a living being, and I don't understand why you would just take a bite like that.
I really don't think you're a living being.
Flash. Another face. Another outfit.
I often take bites of others as a way to express my love.
This is true.
I'm sure
When
it
is
is.
the next time?
I feel like we don't know each other well enough for that, child. Both. Person. Dear,
It's
what is
also
your name? Who are you people?
I'm not Nitsa. It's also a good way to get to know people. Blood
Nachtnitz.
says a lot.
Yes. And you, sir, that you just encourage this such behavior from what is this? Your child?
They're food number 2.
Number 2. Ah, well then bite him if he is your food.
I've taken too much of their blood recently. I feel like they need a break.
Ah, well, at least you are responsible, child. That is. We'll just work on the eating strangers.
I just like the idea of Nick being in his completely bloodstained suit while this conversation is taking place. Nick is gonna try to unleash the dark a little bit, perhaps like speed up the librarian's flickering to see if like anything changes when it's going like too fast to really like make out the individual differences, or try slowing it down long enough to see if like one form sticking for a long time does anything to them.
Okay.
Just trying to, confuse them a little bit and exert some dominance, I guess.
Okay.
So going to do the two things. One is confusing them for a time and trying to get what I want from them, which is directions to, I suppose, like whatever part of the library they don't like going or refuse to go to. What's the like unused section? The dustiest, darkest corner? That kind of thing. The Harlequin romance section.
Yes, yeah, that's I think that's the most used section. I'm not sure. So as yeah, from visually, you don't see anything that gives you any kind of indication of if you speed up their view, if they kind of take the shape of one thing, or if you slow it down, if anything happens. Um, this this kind of flickering and reaction and things is I'll say you would be able to tell um, that they are part of the library. And this sort of flickering that they are going through without your help is a reaction to something that is going on in the library. It is not quite natural or normal. And they will, in that roundabout way of like, kind of black widowing them, you get them to admit that you should never go to the heart. The heart of the library is off limits.
All right. I don't know if I was supposed to declare this first or not, because if I use Reshape by Despair, I have to use Unleash the Dark. And one of the things I can add on to that is changing my form again and uncovering a key at great cost.
Oh.
Is there a particular key we can do here as part of this interrogation, as like Nick just starts to see some sort of astral sea, light darkness thing of his own that's perhaps alarmingly similar or different from this foreign nebula that's been flashing around?
Yeah. Okay. I will say, as you were doing this, the key that you find is the book that they were holding. And as you kind of grab it and close it and look at it, you see the title has your name on it. Says Nick Wotan Claus, and underneath, like a stamp that kind of you saw on that same manila folder about the Anunnaki project. But then as you open it, kind of frantically flipping through inside, all of the pages are blank.
I think Nick's going to feel a little rejected after all the time he's put in at division. He's going to have to kill someone if he remembers who they are.
Okay. Beautiful. As you get that information, feeling rejected, feeling that kind of confusion, like division was doing something. You already saw that manila folder, but if this book is empty and this is a creature, it was a creature that absorbed knowledge. And when it absorbed the knowledge, that knowledge was taken out of existence. But even this creature doesn't seem to have the knowledge. Where is this knowledge? Now we're going to move to Lada and Goodwin. As you two are reaching Marcus, and you see this black hole, and you can feel the body of this creature attempting to protect itself from whatever this is. And you see Marcus staring up and shouting, but you cannot hear over this vacuum what he is shouting. What do you do?
He's come to a stop.
Yeah, he's just stopping, staring up at the hole.
Okay, so Lotta will, sensing that Marcus has come to a stop, will do a final leap onto like the top of one of these really like tall bookcases, and like will look down, see that things have paused, and then will place Goodwin down next to her. And she's like, "Can you hear what he's saying?" As she like leans over and kind of doing like that 3-point, like she's kind of crouched down in like a really feral
And
position.
Not a word. Think it's all getting sucked up like a vacuum.
Annoying. And she like starts kind of just walking straight down the bookshelf. Like she just doesn't need to worry about like jumping down. She's just like walking straight over the edge and then like walking straight down the bookshelf.
I think Goodwin also grabs a book off the shelf and he throws it into this hole.
gets sucked right up.
Okay. Does he remember the title of the book when it gets sucked up?
Did he stop long enough to read it?
I don't know.
Didn't sound like he did.
No, he picks up Pride and Prejudice into the hole.
Are you picking up a second book?
Yeah. This time to see if he remembers. He looks at the title and makes sure to.
Oh, got you. He looks at the title and then sends it up.
Mm-hmm.
I understand now. You actually can't read the title.
Goodwin can't read. No joke, guys. Literacy is a big issue in America.
It's an issue in a lot of places, but yeah.
Yeah, so I live here.
Yeah, Lotta kind of see like out of the corner of her eye is kind of like watching this book sale pass, and she's like, she kind of turns around and is just standing there like totally calm, the hair like falling back to the floor. She's like, "Do you need help getting down?"
No. And he easily so yeah, she's taller.
Yeah,
than
she's
normal?
like 12 feet tall now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think he's gonna go to try and impress her and like jump down in a cool, flashy way and like do a backflip. It's like, no, I'm good. Thanks for the ride.
Oh, you're so welcome. And yeah, we'll just like as she like walks down the last bit of like the bookshelf, every step she takes, she gets a little bit more human again, a little bit condensed back into her human self. And we'll start looking around. Like, does Lotta understand what she's looking at? I guess would be a good question. Or is there something you think I should roll to understand what I'm looking at? Because I actually have a really good idea now that I've said that. Hold on. I'm cooking. Wait. We're
Okay.
baking. What do we got here? What do we got here?
Cooking with radiation.
Yes, something like that. Okay, so I think I'm going to go ahead and tell me if this doesn't sound workable to you. But let's go
Okay.
ahead and we'll invoke my beloved nemesis. And we're going to go for we're going to go for level 1. describe a flashback that features an intimate moment between you two, so me and my nemesis. How does it fuel your desire for revenge? We're nixing that and we're going to, or do you wish for something else? I want all of the information on the internet on what I am looking at, or like how it could apply to what I am looking at.
Mm.
Oh. Okay.
Does this library have a computer?
It does now.
All right.
Which condition are you going to clear?
Do I not roll for this?
No, you mark
I
ruin
just
for this.
do it. All right,
You
cool.
do.
Clear one condition and gain one bond with your nemesis. I am going to clear raging because I've calmed down. But I'm clearly still obsessed.
Okay.
And we're gaining one bond with tech. Alrighty, throw that up there. And I have to describe an intimate moment between me and tech.
Please
a flashback. Alrighty. So we're actually gonna go. How far back should we go? So we're gonna go back to the invention of the printing press.
That's what I thought of. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to say it out loud. I'm not going to say it out loud.
We mind melded? Look at us. I love us. Okay, so we're going to go back to the invention of the printing press. And I am not kind of smart that would be able to tell you like what the first romance novels would have been on the printing press, but I imagine that Lada is hanging around in this printing press shop, this bookshop. They've just gotten this new technology, and she is feeling pretty proud of herself. I would say she's feeling pretty egotistical. So we're imagining Lada in like this old, she's still got the pink hair, which obviously gets her a few sidelong glances in this day and age. She's got like the old-timey clothing, and she's hanging around smoking a cigarette, feeling pretty proud of herself. She's got romance books coming up on these novels that are going to be mass produced and in the hands of more people. More people are going to be feeling that delicious sensation of reading a really good romance novel, like a really good uh, love story. And she's going to be getting so much power from that. But next to her is this very tall and slender, lanky, spidery kind of individual with slicked back white blonde hair, and they're wearing these peculiar shades to hide their pupils. And they've got their arm around Lada, and as they're watching their empire kind of flourishing, they lean in and whisper something in her ear that as the audience we can't make out, but Lada smiles and nods, giving her assent. And Tech grins. And within a couple of weeks from that moment, there is a huge boom in these printing presses and these novels. And in fact, they are produced now to a point where they can print even more at a faster rate. And it just keeps going and going and going.
The beginning of the end.
Hmm.
Love it. Okay. So as you have this memory, and you reach out to Tech, somehow, some way, getting through whatever this creature is, whatever that is above your head, and your phone rings.
Ooh, I didn't think we were gonna go that far. Let's do it. She actually, like, in an almost embarrassing way, answers it, like, right away. Like, she doesn't let it ring, she doesn't play it cool. She is, like, on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
She answers it, like, the second it rings, she answers it, and she's like, "Hi."
My love, where have you been?
I've been Where have we been? Where are currently Chernobyl? I took a few jaunts through time. You can blame Nick for that.
It is good to hear your voice.
It's good to hear your voice.
I don't like it when you're so far from me.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll make it up
Good.
to you when I get
Y-
out of here.
You will.
I do need your help though, if I am going to get out of here. She tries, she wants it to be his idea that he I'm looking at something that I don't really know what it is. I mean, I have a couple of ideas, but I could really use a lot more of ideas on what this could be.
Of course. I will do that for you. And you'll get like a download of like almost too much information, like scientific papers, Wikipedia articles, like a lot. You'll get like pictures from different telescopes, like all showing just different parts and pieces. So much information comes down. And then it all crystallizes and clears. And you feel for like a moment that this might have been a little bit of a power trip on tech's behalf of like giving you exactly what you asked for, but knowing that you wouldn't understand it or be able to handle it, and just kind of showing that little bit of, oh, I'll give you whatever you want, but then I'll also give you what you need. And then he'll distill it down for you. And you'll know that whatever this is, it is some version of a black hole. There are many different kinds. This kind is not understandable by human math and human brains. But it is a black hole. It's not something you can just wish away necessarily. But it is there. Did you want more information from him?
No, if she's still on the phone with him, or did they hang up? I think they're still on the phone. Are
They're
they?
still on the phone, yeah.
Oh, then yeah, she'll say, I think, well, unless you have any idea on how I could deal with this just off the top of your head, I think we're good.
Come back to me, and you won't have to worry about it.
She's just quiet for a while, and she actually looks at Goodwin and then looks away.
He is looking at you, talking on the phone. Like big puppy dog eyes, like, how could you?
I'll try to be home in time for dinner, and then hang up.
As you hang up, you hear like a tone on the phone, which you know is Tech's way of saying goodbye.
Okay.
Goodwin is torn between again, by the way.
Did you roll something, or are you just torn between the next time you? Oh, hello.
Oh, he felt unloved from Lotta answering the phone so quickly, and that I actually also last time I rolled, we should have it should have triggered, but we forgot. I forgot.
Okay, then yeah, let's do it. Let's do it now. Unless tech. Ooh, Celtic. If you wanted to do something different.
No, Goodwin, how would you like to react in
geez.
this moment?
So okay, so
She's been offering you so much this whole time, making promises with her eyes, with the way her claws raked into your skin. You can still feel the blood dripping down your flesh.
oh my goodness, this is so bad. I'm gonna do it. He's pissed.
Do it, yeah.
He's gonna let his monstrous nature show, and he's gonna fucking push Marcus into the hole, the black hole, like a little toddler.
I'm so
Okay.
into this.
All right.
Do it.
Awesome. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I love this game. I never know what's going to happen. I can never judge. I never know how to react. Okay, it's beautiful. Mark your ruin. Awesome. Yeah, he goes flying through the hole. You can see as he goes up into the hole, his body just kind of freezes and stops for a moment. And he's looking down and facing down on all of you. And he seems to have this scream on their face, and their eyes glow a sickly green, and this sickly green power seems to come out of their mouth, almost as the same as what you saw when you moved back time. You see them just frozen there for a moment, screaming. And then you see a long tentacle reach down, wrap around their body, and pull them through. You feel the whole place shudder as the parasitic library contracts, like it's running from something, like it's trying to move away from whatever that tentacle thing was. You feel thuds, hear sounds, as if something is happening on the ceiling, under the floor, in the walls. You have no idea what. But everything, the whole space seems to get a little bit smaller for a little bit. Not really sure what all that was about. But the clock ticks forward. Just a little bit more. As Marcus is no longer with us. And as you look to the partner with you in this moment, and Goodwin, you feel this rage, and Lada, you feel desire, confusion. Nakanitsa, you feel hungry. And Nick, maybe you feel a little lonely. We're going to end tonight's session. Thank you, everyone, for being with us on this absolutely wild ride. Nothing has happened like I thought it would, and I love this game, and you beautiful players for it. Let us say our goodbyes, starting with Z.
It has been so much fun, guys. I'm really excited to figure out what's going to happen next, and see you guys next week.
Casey.
I've had a great night playing Nick. I look forward to next week with everyone. And I hope you enjoy your holidays, whatever time of year you're watching this.
Sam.
Thank you so much for hanging out with Lotta as she navigates this realm and tries to claw her way back to divinity. Hopefully, we claw our way a little further next week.
Natisha.
It was such a fun night. Thank you again for giving into your hunger with us. And I hope to see you all next week for more feasting.
Yes. And I have been your keeper this evening, Celtic. If you want to play a game that is this crazy, you can check out my Start Playing link. Find me on all the socials at Celtic to Nephew. Bye, everyone. One of these days, I'm going to have this ready.